Hey everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and I am in my shop, and it is super quiet, so I thought I'd take a chance and make a video. This is one in the Is This Better Than a Sebenza series. So, obviously, we have a Sebenza. This is a Sebenza 31, and it runs S45VN. This is before they switched over to MagnaCut. It is bone stock. It is the basic plain Jane small Sebenza 31. I bought it before the price increase, and so it's a pretty nice knife. We all know what a Sebenza. The knife that's going to be on the table for Is It Better Than a Sebenza is a really new knife, and the question is, does this knife trump the Sebenza? This is the Sage 6 from Spyderco. This is the sprint run version with the basket weave carbon fiber and the S35 or the S90V blade steel. It is, in my opinion, the best Spyderco ever made. The Dragonfly is my favorite Spyderco. This is the best Spyderco. And the reason why I say that is because for a lot of people, the Dragonfly is too small. And if you are one of those people, though I am not, this is the knife you should aim at. This is the best knife that Spyderco has ever made. It has a button-activated compression lock, which is not too dissimilar in its function from the top liner lock on this Vosteed Psyop 299. As you can see, they are not indistinguishable, but they're pretty close to indistinguishable. The difference is really hard for me to figure out. But either way, this button-activated compression lock does a couple of different things, which is why I think ultimately it is better than this knife. This is the Cali 3 in ZDP 189. This knife is a masterpiece. It fits in the hand probably a little better than the Sage, but its lock is a little bit of a problem because in addition to, actually mine doesn't have any, but that's weird. Oftentimes it will generate some blade play, the liner, or the, let's see. No, I don't. Oftentimes the lockback will generate some blade play, but it also does create these swirl marks on the blade. Because, you're just clamping it down. There's no detent. And it is, it's fine to slow roll it open, but you're going to have a hard time, really hard time, spider flicking that guy open. This guy, on the other hand, it just comes out right away. Super duper easy to use, super duper fun to flick. And so the question is this knife better than a Sebenza? Now, this knife ran me about $300, which is cheaper than a Sebenza. I generally think that carbon fiber is a fine material, but it is really just overpriced G10. It is not something that I think is worth all that much of a bonus, because while it does have a lot of compressive strength, in terms of its weight savings over G10, it's not really a weight savings, if at all. And the compressive strength doesn't really matter for knife handles. It does provide some grip and all that, but I actually end up liking the titanium handle on the Sebenza better as a handle material. Now, in terms of ergonomics, this is what makes Spyderco Spyderco. They are not a company that is known for making the prettiest knives, although at this point I've come to enjoy the Spyderco aesthetic so much that I actually think they are attractive knives. That being said, I don't think anybody's going to think that there's something as good looking as this. This is a really good looking knife, this Psyop 299. It is just absolute stunner. So not the most handsome knife. It's very untraditional. They all have this sort of jelly bean shape to them. And they all have these curves and cuts. But the result of all those curves and cuts is that they are fantastic in the hand. Absolutely fantastic in the hand. And maybe it's not that the curves and cuts are the result of the jelly bean shape, but the jelly bean shape is actually the result of all the curves and cuts in a Spyderco. You will not find a knife that locks into the hand or fills the hand better than this knife. It is just really, really, really good. I also like how relatively thin it is. It is a thin knife, but not like a paper thin knife. It is a smidge thicker than the titanium handled Sebenza 31. I think that the blade steel, like the S90V, has a little bit higher wear resistance than the S45VN, and maybe even a little higher than the Magna Cut. But like they're all pretty good. Like we're, angels on the head of a pin here, so that doesn't really matter. The real question for me is, does this, hydraulic feel matter? And I think it does. This doesn't feel bad, but it also doesn't have that same level of like, let's see if I can do this. Oh, just the best. The best. That feel and that sound really are unique in the knife world, and it's hard to beat it. Oh, just the best. Oh, the best. You can get your Sebenza to be a little flippier than mine, but you're never going to get it to match the flippiness of this knife. I mean, this knife just pops out of the handle. It's so super duper good. I don't think I'd ever want, like this in my mind, this easy open spider flick is probably the best opening method on the planet. I like it better than flippers. I like it better than thumb studs. And so like, it's not necessarily that the fidgetiness of the Spyderco wins the day. It's that the Spidey hole is just the best opening method in the knife world. It gives you an additional feature, but it saves on weight. It makes the opening like so much better, so much better than like a thumb stud. And I don't mind thumb studs. I think that they're fine. And there is a learning curve to the thumb stud on the Sebenza. If you treat it like this thumb stud on the Psyop, you're going to have a hard time, right? Like this knife, you just pop it open. There's no popping open this knife. You still have to put pressure on it all the way through the opening arc, which is fine. And that's part of the thing that makes the Sebenza. But I am going to say that in this case, I do like the Spyderco Stage 6 better than a Sebenza because this opening method is really, really good. I like the build quality and the lockup better on the Sebenza. I like the titanium handle. Materials better. The steels are basically a tie. And it really does come down to the opening method. The lock I would give to the Sebenza, but, lock strength is like one of those things where it's like, they're all fine. I'm not stabbing through car doors, so I don't really give a shit what the lock strength is. But this knife, the opening method is so good. It is why this knife is better than this knife, and it is also why this knife is better than this knife. You will not find, in my opinion, a better, more finger-friendly opening method than the Spidey flick on a really well-tuned knife like this one, which is the Sage 6 and S90V. And it is better than the Sebenza.